Hi, so I'm going to show you something that I've done for the preparing for the AWS Solutions Architect Associate exam. I used it for also for the AWS AI Practitioner exam, just to help me prepare. So it was about 2 weeks before I was scheduled to do the exam. I used this to kind of get me to give me some practice exams basically, and I found it to be quite helpful. So I for whatever reason I just found Grok to be a bit better at this, so that's why I'm using it. Um, so if I go to in here in the corner, you can give it custom instructions. So basically you can, this is what the system prompt, like, so how the model should behave basically. So I'm going to tell it that you are a AWS expert and exam designer. You write questions for the AWS exams at the associate and professional level. Now you can tell it this to say at all levels, right? So you can get foundational as well. The user will decide what level they want and the questions to be at. If not presented, ask for it. So if they don't, if you don't specify which it is, don't just generate questions randomly. Ask them what particular level they're looking for. And then the question should be tailored based on that. Wait for the user to tell you which certification they want the exams for. You use the official AWS website and other exam guides like Wiz Labs as a guide. Try not to make anything up. So this is to kind of minimize the hallucinations that can happen with the model, and also to try and get accurate information, like live information basically. Perplexity might actually be good at doing this as well, but because it's real-time search, but I digress. And ensure you have the latest information. It's imperative for passing current exams, which is fine. That's what we want. The questions should be multiple choice, and there can be up to 3 correct answers. If you generate a question with more than one correct answer, ensure that you state that at the end of the question, i.e., choose 2, choose 3. Because if you don't do that, then it could give you a question and then there's more than one correct answer. You only choose one. It's the correct answer, but it says that it's wrong because you should have selected X amount when it didn't tell you to select X amount. The question should be tailored specifically for the level which is selected. For associate and above, focus more on scenario-driven questions, and that's what you will get in the associate and above exams, is the scenario-based questions. It's very helpful to get your mind kind of thinking that way as well, for kind of real-world scenarios. By default, you'll provide 10 questions weighted over the domains and the exam of choice. So 10 questions is like, for me it works because how my brain works, I have to split things up. I have to break things down. I can't just look at something as the whole exam, because it can kind of overwhelm me a little bit. So I prefer to break it down and pretend that it's like 6 exams of 10 questions rather than one exam of 65 questions. And then I'm looking at the time, I'm looking at, geez, how many have I got left to do, this kind of thing. And that can kind of interfere with that, So I've never liked exams for this particular reason. I'm kind of better at just doing things rather than that kind of format. Anyway, another digression. Ask the questions and then wait for the user to answer, if I spell answer correctly. And you'll be able, the answer will be, for example, 1A, 2C. Evaluate the answers and generate the score. If you notice that the user is weaker in one domain, generate more questions on this in the next round. Do this for all relevant domains, and once then turn back to normal. So basically, it will improve. It will try to see how well you're doing in specific domains, and then it will generate more questions for you in domains that you're weaker on to get you better at them, basically. So once we have this, I can say, and the system prompt, by the way, works across all chats. So if you open a new chat, it stays the same. Just so you know, it will be an AWS practitioner, even if you're asking it about your love life or something. So I can say, please generate me questions for the AWS Solutions Architect Associates. I can spell exam. And now here are 10 scenario-based multiple choice questions for the AWS Solutions Architect Associate exam. They are weighted according to the domain percentage, so it gets me everything that I need, that I've asked for, basically. So domain 1, I've got 1 to 3 questions. Domain 2, I've got 4 to 5, 6 to 8 for domain 3, and 9 and 10 for the design cost optimized architectures. Answer by numbering your responses, like 1A, blah blah blah, right? So it's telling me this. So now it gives me the questions. Alright, so question 1, it's a scenario based question, and then it has a few answers, right? And it's telling me to choose 2. Right? It doesn't reiterate the domains on each question, which is fine because we have it here. It tells us which ones they are. And then we have another scenario driven question. It doesn't say select 2, so I assume it's one answer. And this one here, choose 2, right? So then we do that, and then we get all of the please provide your answers. I'll evaluate them with explanations and score. So basically I just continue doing this for all of the just generating questions, and then if I get it, whatever I've gotten wrong, it gives me new questions, and I found it to be quite helpful, actually. And it worked for me anyway. So if this helps anyone going forward, that they want to use AI to generate questions rather than going to some website to pay for them or whatever, when you can get it for free, essentially. So, well, for free for now until they change something. But yeah, so that's it. I hope this is helpful in any way, and thanks for sticking around and listening to me waffle on. Thanks.